In this mini-series, we're taking a look at all 30 athletes competing at this year's World's Strongest Man. We're going to be looking at their story so far, how we think they'll do on the events, and how we rate their overall chances. Today's athlete is the Limerick Lion, Ireland's very own Par O'Dwyer.
So looking back at Par's history in the sport, his first international competition was actually way back in 2014. I don't know why I didn't expect it to be that long ago, but he did a Giants Live in Poland where he placed 11th.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, to be fair, and he's another one of those athletes that steadily improved as he's aged. He wasn't one of the youngest guys bursting on the scene, just every year puts the work in and keeps improving. And actually, he's had his best result this year at Britain's Strongest Man, where he placed second behind Tom Stoltman, who's the current world's strongest man. Yeah. But Par performed exceptionally well in that show. And he's going into World's Strongest Man the most confident he's ever been.
Now, would you say that was his best result, considering he won UK Strongest Man in 2018?
Yes, I would. Yeah. Although he won UK Strongest Man, and he did beat me in that show.
Well, I wasn't going to mention that.
I can see you bringing it up. I think the overall standard at Britain's is a little bit higher. And I think when you look at his individual performances at Britain's Strongest Man, we've really seen some progress from Par. He's a great deadlifter now, exceptionally fit and athletic. And if he could make the final of Worlds, I really think he could do well on the behind the neck press. He's got amazing mobility and flexibility for a heavyweight strongman. It kind of reminds me more of an under 105, very athletic, very mobile, very explosive. And he's getting better every single year we see him.
So he is 5-time Ireland's strongest man, and this year he's really going to want to be the first man from Ireland to make it through to the final.
Absolutely. I know that's his goal. He wants to make it. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of great athletes and tough events to go through, but he's got a chance and he's coming in the best shape of his life. The one thing with Par is he needs to listen to his coach. Sometimes Par has this tendency to just go off and do what he wants to do. He needs to stay focused and make sure he peaks for World's Strongest Man.
So event 1 of World's Strongest Man heats this year is the loading race, and we know everyone's super nervous going into the first event. How do you think Par might do?
I actually think Par can do really well on loading. He's fast and athletic, and he has good history. When he competed at 2020 World's Strongest Man, he was second in his group on the loading. I've had the pleasure of going against him on loading events, and he is a fast athlete. So I think this could be a good start for him in the heat.
The next event in the groups is the deadlift ladder. Now, Par's deadlift, it's kind of been up and down, hasn't it? I know he did really well at the axle deadlift at Britain's Strongest Man this year, but then in the ladder at Europe's Strongest Man, I think he placed 7th.
Yeah, his deadlift at Brits, he placed 3rd in a strong lineup of deadlifters. You think you've got Adam Bishop in there, you've got Tom Stoltman, you know. We've got other great deadlifters in the UK. To come 3rd in that lineup was very good. He is up and down on the deadlift, and sometimes it depends on the implement and what kind of shape Par's in. I think he lacks consistency in terms of performance history on the deadlift, but on his day, he can score big points.
So after the deadlift, they're going into the car walk, and we've only got one result for Par for the car walk, which was Europe's Strongest Man this year, and he placed 3rd behind Alexei and Luke Stoltman.
Yeah, he did very well, and it's an event he's really made good progress on. Another athlete that just keeps improving and he's aging. When you look at his younger results, wasn't such a good event for him when it comes to yokes, car walk type events, but he's making good progress, and I think in the right group, he could score big points.
Next is a new event to World's Strongest Man. It's the Wrecking Ball hold. Looking at his Hercules hold results in the past, it's not the strongest event for him, is it?
No, absolutely. This could really be the event that costs him making the final. His history in terms of farmers walk for distance, Hercules hold type events, is not good. He needs to make sure in training he is working hard on that grip strength, because notoriously it's been an event that's let him down in major competitions. So hopefully he comes in and he's been working hard. I'm sure he has, as all the athletes will work on weaknesses, but he's not proven when it comes to a grip type event.
So next is the log lift for reps, and it's going to be around 150 kilos.
Yeah, and Par's made good progress on all his pressing events, and he has some pressing events which he's exceptionally good at. Others, like the log, not quite as impressive. I mean, he's a decent log lifter. I think his max is around the 180, 185 mark. He did the log for reps back in 2020 and got 5 reps, I believe, which was good enough for 4th place in his group. His history in log lifting in competition is not so good. I think he would have preferred maybe like an axle, where he really excels at. He's very explosive and very mobile. He's got great flexibility. So things like the axle, he's really good at. And
the dumbbell as well.
The dumbbell is solid, but I believe if he can make the final, he'll be really good on the behind the neck jerk. I've seen some training videos and he looks very, very comfortable on it. I feel the log, he would rather they swap that round, and that was in the final, and there was the behind the neck jerk in his heat. But he needs to work hard on it. He's capable. It just depends who's in that group. There's so many good log lifters that could potentially make him drop a few points when it comes to that event.
So the athletes who find themselves in 2nd or 3rd place after those events are going to end up in the stone off. And I know there's so many factors that go into how someone might do, but based on Par's track record, what do you think?
Yeah, lots of factors come to the stones. He's a decent stone lifter. He's never excelled at Atlas stones when it comes to international level competitions, but he's never performed badly either. He's a very solid stone lifter. I think the best tactic for Par is distract his opponent. Put them off. Be funny. Call them out. Get into their head. He's capable. He's a great character. I find him extremely funny. But on top of being funny, he's a great strongman.
So how are we rating Par's overall chances? You kind of touched upon it, but I think it's a shame for Par that the finals events aren't the heats events, because I think that's actually a better set of events for him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'd love the behind the neck jerk. I think he'd be challenging for a big number on that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the log will cost him some big valuable points. And I think the grip hold could be the real deciding factor. He needs a big performance there. That is going to be key to his overall performance. He's capable. He's improving all the time, as we said. And we've seen him perform, I mean, Britain's Strongest Man this year, the shield carry. He was unbelievable on that. He's got events where he is absolutely world class. He just has a few weaker events. Yeah. And it's going to come down to who's in his group. That's the key for Par. Does he have really good people when it comes to the deadlift, when it comes to the pressing? If he drops points on those, he's going to struggle to make the final this year. So Par could well be the first Irishman to make the final. He's proven me wrong many times in the past. We wish him the absolute best. Make sure you guys go and follow Par on his Instagram page, and we'll see you guys next time.